Hello everybody. Today we remember the death in 1703 of Robert Hooke, who among other things helped Sir Christopher Wren with the building of St Paul's Cathedral, and who had an ongoing argument with Newton about who discovered gravity. But today I want to think of him as the one who, shortly after the microscope had been invented, looked through a piece of cork through a microscope and saw within it what he called a lot of boxes, but he named them cells because he thought they looked like the monastic cell in a monastery, where all those little boxes went to make up the whole. Subsequently, of course, we learned that these cells are part of everything that's animate, and that they divide and so grow. It's miraculous the way the human being grows. It was originally thought that when we started off in our mother's womb, shaped exactly as we were when we came out of our mother's womb, except a lot smaller. But eventually, with the discovery of the way in which cells divide, it was known, of course, that isn't how it works, and it's the division of the cells in the womb that create the human being, and that each new cell that's created has a slightly different function from the one from which it came, but and somehow it seems to know what that function is and seems to know where to go to exercise it. And of course, it's through this process of division and division and division that the human body emerges. A wonderful, miraculous thing, of course, that each cell plays its part in the whole. And for me, that's quite a nice image of the wider society, that each of us has a part to play in the whole. Each of us is important, and I think that it's worth celebrating today, this sense that we all have a contribution to make, and to respect the contribution that each person has to make. One of the sad things about the development of the history of the cell was that there was a Dutch merchant living not long after Hooke who discovered cells in rainwater, but because he was not a gentleman and uneducated, no one took any notice. And indeed, the person who later on, Remak, the German, who discovered eventually that cells divide, no one took any notice of him for a long time because he was Jewish. And these people, although they had really important contributions to make, were not able to do so because they were not respected for one reason or another, either because they weren't learned or because they were Jewish. And so today I think it's worth remembering that each person has a contribution to make to society, and to value and to respect that contribution for what it is, as well as just celebrating the miracle that is each human being, and the way we come to exist from a single cell.